Hi everyone. Thought we would look at New York next. And on the map, it is right here. We shade that in. Okay. So, actually, I'm going to look forward. So it says, "Welcome to the Empire State. New York was America's capital before it was a nation, and still a British colony, after the Americans won their independence. George Washington, the first president, was sworn in on the steps of New York City's Federal Hall. With a population of more than 8 million, New York City is the largest city by far in the country. In fact, the city that never sleeps has more people than 40 of the U.S.'s 50 states. This mighty metropolis is one of the only places where the price of a slice of pizza and the cost of a single ride on the subway have been equal for over 50 years. One visit is all it takes to fall in love with this historic, culture-filled state, from the jaw-dropping awesomeness of Niagara Falls or the rugged beauty of the Adirondacks to the cheesecake, hot dogs, and clam chowder of the Big Apple." And then the key facts. Capital is Albany, largest cities, New York City, of course, Buffalo, and Rochester. Bird is bluebird. It's named for the 17th century English Duke of York. Statehood date, July 26, 1788. Statehood order, 11. Flower, rose. Postal code, NY. Region, Mid-Atlantic. Main time zone, Eastern. And tree, sugar maple. And their motto is ever upward. So, moments to remember. September 10, 1609, exploring for the Dutch, Englishman Henry Hudson sails the mighty river and names it after himself. We've learned about him. July 8, 1779, General George Washington moves his Revolutionary War headquarters to West Point, which later becomes the United States Military Academy. March 15, 1820, Washington Irving publishes The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, making Tarrytown Headless Horseman territory. July 19th through the 20th, 1848, Votes for Women. The first suffrage convention is held in Seneca Falls. May 24th, 1883, the Brooklyn Bridge opens and 21 elephants cross to test its strength. January 1st, 1892, Give me your tired, your poor. The first 700 immigrants pass through Ellis Island Immigration Station. April 15th, 1947, Batter up. Jackie Robinson starts on first base with the Brooklyn Dodgers, becoming the first African American to play Major League Baseball. August 15th through the 18th, 1969, 400,000 people come together in the name of peace at the Woodstock Festival. And September 11, 2001, tragedy strikes in New York City as the World Trade Center's Twin Towers are struck by terrorists. Many people lose their lives. We have a lot of famous people. So we'll start with Derek Jeter. He was born in 1974. Jeter's 20-year baseball career with the New York Yankees included 5 World Series championships. Lena Dunham, she was born in 1986. She's New York City born. Dunham is an Emmy award-winning writer, director, producer, and actress. John D. Rockefeller, born in 1839, died in 1937. Rockefeller made a huge fortune in the oil industry. He spent his later life giving money to many charities. And then we have Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt. Franklin was born in 1882, died in 1945. Eleanor was born in 1884 and died in 1962. The Roosevelts were raised and educated in New York before becoming president and first lady. And thought I saw more people. Oh. Sorry. It's all on the other side. And we have Jimmy Fallon, born in 1974. He has The Tonight Show, you probably have heard of. So he was born in Brooklyn, and he starred in Saturday Night Live and now hosts The Tonight Show. And then here we have the map. So as you can see, this is New York City. It's this little part that juts out. And then this is the rest of the state. So a lot of people focus on New York City. Coney Island has long been known for its seaside amusement parks, which you'll find here. Staten Island is here. Here's the Atlantic Ocean, Long Island Sound, Manhattan. So if we zoom in, the subway. New York City has 722 miles of subway track. Broadway. More than 1,500 theater performances are held here each year. In the theater district, Chinatown, one of the largest Chinese populations outside of Asia, lives here. Guggenheim Museum, Frank Lloyd Wright made over 700 sketches of this famous building while designing it. And then the World Trade Center, the new Freedom Tower, opened in 2014. So they were just laying the foundation down when I went, and I went in 2009. So I, of course, missed seeing the building. But I have flown by it, and I've seen it, at least on the airplane. Statue of Liberty, we can't forget that. This huge sculpture was completed in 1886, representing freedom. It has become an icon of New York and the U.S. as a whole. Sojourner Truth was one of America's best-known anti-slavery and gender-equality speakers. The Albany Symphony Orchestra has been making music since 1930. And Albany, of course, is the state capital, so they have the New York State Capitol building there. It's the $1 Million Staircase in the Capitol building, has 77 stone faces, including those of Washington, Lincoln, and strangers from the street. And then they have the Wrestling Hall of Fame. This Amsterdam museum celebrates the outrageous acrobatics of many theatrical matmen. Ticonderoga, Lead Mountain near Ticonderoga has been, Lead Mountain near Ticonderoga has been mined for pencil lead since 1815. So, you know, all your pencils have Ticonderoga on it, and that's because they were made with their lead. Dutch history. The Dutch settled here in 1624. All about apples. New York is big on apples. It grows the most of any state after Washington. Chateauguay River, trout are plentiful here in one of New York's many rivers. Adirondack Mountains, when leaves take a break from photosynthesizing in the fall, nature lovers celebrate the colorful result. Bolt Castle. Multimillionaire George Bolt began building this castle in 1900, but stopped when his wife died in 1904. We have Erie Canal in the 1800s. Horses pulled freighters full of produce along this 363-mile canal. Syracuse experiences the highest average snowfall of any American city. Chittenango, the birthplace of the Wizard of Oz author L. Frank Baum, has an actual yellow brick road. Well, that's cool. Cooperstown is home to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. And then Woodstock was one of the most famous music and arts festivals of the 20th century. Catskill Mountains. Found here, the timber rattlesnake grows a new segment of rattle each time it sheds its skin. Ugh. Lots of snakes lately. Sagan Planet Walk to Mars in moments on this scale model of the solar system in Ithaca. And I think I covered this side. I'm going to move it over. Oh, I love Lucy. Dress up like comedian Lucille Ball and act out scenes from her hit show at the Desilu Studios in Jamestown. I need to go there because I'm a big fan. Iroquois athletics. An early form of lacrosse was played by the Iroquois nations. Buffalo is famous for its tasty chicken wings. The Finger Lakes are made up of 11 long, thin lakes. They all are right here. So I guess they look like fingers. Niagara Falls. 10 tightrope walkers have crossed the 165-foot tall waterfalls. One cooked an omelet halfway across. That's funny. Rochester. Wings of Progress. The 4 aluminum wings of Rochester's Times Square building weigh 12,000 pounds each. And Elizabeth Cady Stanton helped break barriers at the first women's suffrage convention held in Seneca Falls. And Canada. You may not cross the border into Canada with dog food, potatoes, or minnows. Huh, interesting. So yeah, Canada's up here. Canada's there. Lake Erie's here. So I think that is everything. And just the other fun facts that you will need to know about New York. Hope if I had the right book. There we go. You need to know. So the state motto is Excelsior, ever upward. The seal and the flag, so the flag and the seal are the same. So whatever's inside the flag is what you'll do for the seal. So mine kind of looked like that. And then as you can see, the state mammal is the beaver, state fish, brook trout, state insect, ladybug. I know, shocker. And then the area is 47,214 square miles. The highest point is 5,344 feet. Lowest point is sea level. And then you can do the rest. And feel free to write down some fun facts of anything that you learned about it too. So I will have that blank page of New York for you, and you can fill that out. And soon you'll get your own booklet back, which will be nice because then you can just fill that out and not worry about the copies that I send you. So anyway, hope you learned something more about New York, and I hope you have a good day.